So big news. On February 27th, 2026, the VA issued transmittal of Change 46 to the VA Pamphlet 26-7, the official VA Lender's Handbook. The VA loan benefit is one of the most powerful financial tools available to anyone who is served. Zero down payment, no private mortgage insurance. Even with these changes, the VA appraisal process still has real structural problems that put veterans at a disadvantage, and they haven't been fixed. If you've ever made a VA offer and watched a seller choose a conventional buyer instead, even for less money, this video's for you. The VA appraisal process has had a reputation for decades. Sellers think it's slow, picky, and risky. Agents steer their clients away from it, and for a long time, some of that reputation was earned. But something has shifted in the last 30 days, and if you're a veteran trying to buy a home in 2026, you need to know about it. I'm going to break down exactly what changed and why it matters for your next offer. And at the end of this video, I'm going to be honest with you about where the VA appraisal process still falls short, because there are real problems that haven't been fixed yet, and you deserve to hear that too. My name is Joe Nelson. I'm a 21-year retired Air Force veteran. I served as an enlisted propulsion specialist on C-130s and later as a commissioned maintenance officer with deployments to Afghanistan and Qatar. I've also built two careers that I believe belong together. I became a licensed real estate agent and a licensed mortgage originator, both specializing in VA clients. I lead the Nelson Home Group, the highest rated real estate team on Google in the Kansas City metro, and we've helped over 1,200 families buy and sell with a deep focus on serving the veteran and military community. One thing worth mentioning right up front, our mortgage team is licensed in almost all 50 states. So no matter where you're watching this from, if you have questions about your VA loan or your next purchase, reach out. The contact info is on the screen right now. And if at any point in this video something doesn't make sense or just creates more questions, same thing. Call me, text me, whatever is easiest. That's what I'm here for. If you want more content like this, also check out our full playlist, Veteran-Focused Real Estate, VA Loans, PCS Moves, and Military Home Tips. There's a link in the description. All right, now let's get into it. Let's start with the real issue, because if you've been using your VA loan to shop for a home, you've probably already felt it. Sellers and listing agents have a perception of the VA appraisal process that goes something like this. It takes longer, the appraiser is going to find something wrong, and the deal is going to fall apart over something that wouldn't matter on a conventional loan. And the most frustrating part is that veterans are competing against conventional buyers who don't carry any of those concerns. You put in an offer, the seller gets nervous, and they take the other one, sometimes for less money. That's not hypothetical. That happens in Kansas City regularly. The VA loan benefit is one of the most powerful financial tools available to anyone who is served. Zero down payment, no private mortgage insurance, competitive interest rates. And yet veterans have been losing deals because of a perception problem built almost entirely around the appraisal. That's what's starting to change right now, though. If that's your situation, you've been shopping with your VA loan and running into seller resistance, my contact info is on the screen. We work with buyers in exactly this position all the time, and a 10-minute conversation with me or someone from my team could completely change how you approach your next offer. So big news. On February 27th, 2026, the VA issued transmittal of Change 46 to the VA Pamphlet 26-7, the official VA Lender's Handbook. The document that governs the VA appraisal process for every appraiser and underwriter in the country. 5 specific minimum property requirements, MPRs, were found to be, and I'm quoting directly from the transmittal, superfluous. That word matters. The VA is acknowledging that these requirements weren't protecting veterans. They were creating friction without serving a real purpose. These changes go into effect for all VA appraisals ordered on or after May 1st, 2026. Here are the 2 changes that will actually move the needle for most buyers. First, detached sheds and outbuildings and garages. The old rule said any detached structure on the property had to meet the same minimum property requirements as the main house. A shed with peeling paint, the appraiser had to flag it. You either had to fix it, or in some cases, the appraiser might exclude it from value, which created appraisal gaps and killed deals. Under the new rule, detached non-residential structures are no longer evaluated for MPR compliance at all. The appraiser notes that the shed exists, moves on, done. Second, and this one is worth understanding clearly because it applies to the main house, not just the detached structures, but paint on homes built in 1978 or later. The old standard required appraisers to report all defective exterior paint and required repair if the subsurface was exposed at all. The new standard, reading directly from the updated manual, says defective paint on a dwelling built in 1978 or later is normally considered cosmetic. That's the entire rule, one sentence. So if you're looking at a house built in 1990 with some chipping paint on the trim of the main house and a weathered detached garage out back, under the old VA appraisal process, both of those could hold up your closing. Under the new rules effective May 1st, neither one is a mandatory repair condition. That is a real and meaningful shift for veterans competing against conventional buyers. The other three changes in the transmittal, radon certifications for new construction, oxygen depletion sensor paperwork on ventless fireplaces, and a technical clarification on lead-based paint for pre-1978 homes are legitimate policy changes, but in my experience, doing VA loans here in Kansas City, they have rarely been the thing that actually blew up a deal. The two I just described are the ones with the most impact on the ground. One more thing on timing that matters a lot though. These changes apply based on when the appraisal is ordered, not when it's inspected, not when your closing is. If your lender orders the appraisal on April 30th, the old rules apply even if the appraiser doesn't show up for 2 more weeks. If they ordered on May 1st, you're under the new standard. If you're currently under contract and your appraisal has not been ordered yet, that timing conversation with your lender is worth having right now. If you're in that window and want to talk through how this applies to a specific property, my contact info is on the screen again. Now, here's the part I promised to be straight with you about. Even with these changes, the VA appraisal process still has real structural problems that put veterans at a disadvantage, and they haven't been fixed. You deserve to understand what they are. The biggest one, and most veterans have never heard this explained, is the appraisal fee problem. VA appraisers have historically been paid less for a VA assignment than they would have doing a conventional appraisal, and it requires more work. The VA has capped appraisal fees, and these caps haven't kept pace with what the market pays. So when an appraiser has both a VA order and a conventional order sitting in their queue on the same mortgage, they have a direct financial incentive to prioritize the conventional one. Multiply that across thousands of appraisers and thousands of markets, and you get a systemic slowdown in the VA appraisal process that has nothing to do with the VA's requirements and everything to do with the economics. Veterans have been losing deals not because the appraisal is hard to pass, but because it takes longer to schedule, it takes longer to come back. That's the part that never gets talked about, and it's the part that matters most when you're trying to compete in a multiple offer situation. The second problem is accountability. In our market, and I'll say this plainly because veterans deserve honesty, there are appraisers who are known for coming in below contract price and refusing to budge. In my opinion, it's not because the market data supports their number, but because there are no meaningful consequences for being wrong or being late. If an appraiser misses their turnaround window, there's really nothing that a lender, an agent, or the veteran can do about it. No reconsideration process with real teeth exists, in my opinion. That needs to change, and it hasn't yet. If you've been through this, if the VA appraisal process has cost you a deal or created a situation that felt completely out of your control, send me a text or call me. My contact info is on the screen. I've navigated this situation often, and knowing how the system actually works can give you some options that most veterans don't know they have. Which brings me to something that happened just a few days ago. On March 26, 2026, 3 United States senators introduced bipartisan legislation called the VA Appraisal Modernization Act. I want to be completely clear about what this is and what it isn't. This is a proposed bill. It has been referred to the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee. It has not passed, it is not law. I'm covering it because the problem it's targeting is exactly the one I just described, and because it has bipartisan support from senators who all sit on the Veterans Affairs Committee. And it is endorsed by the National Association of Realtors, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, and the American Legion. That is a serious coalition behind a bill that goes after the right problem. Here's what the bill would actually do. It would adjust VA appraiser fees to keep pace with inflation in the appraisal industry, directly addressing the economic distinctive I described. It would require the Secretary of Veteran Affairs to increase fees in areas that have a shortage of appraisers, which pulls more professionals into the VA network. It would add mileage reimbursements for appraisers working in high demand and rural areas to reduce their personal costs, and it would direct the VA to study restructuring the VA appraisal process to more closely mirror the FHA process, which generally moves faster and is more predictable for everyone involved. More appraisers in the system means faster turnaround times. Faster turnaround times mean sellers stop viewing VA offers as a timing risk. That is the direct line between this bill and your ability to compete. I'll be watching it closely and I'll update you when it moves. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. What I would add, if anyone in Washington is listening, fix the accountability side too. Increase the fees to attract more appraisers, absolutely. but also create a real reconsideration process with consequences for appraisers that are often late or often way off on value not supported by market data. Veterans deserve a system that actually protects them, not one that protects the appraiser. So here's where we are. The VA appraisal process just got meaningfully better. Change 46 removes friction that was creating repair conditions without protecting anyone, including paint requirements that now apply to both the main house and detached structures on homes built after 1978. Congress introduced a bipartisan bill with serious industry support aimed at fixing the appraiser shortage at its root, and the accountability problems, slow turnarounds, appraisers who come in low and won't move, no real recourse, those still need to be solved. The direction is right, the job isn't finished. If you've been told your VA loan puts you at a disadvantage, that story is becoming less true by the month. Now is not the time to let sellers talk you out of using the benefit you earned. I put together a free VA home buying guide for Kansas City that covers the full process: eligibility, the funding fee, what things actually cost and when, how we structure VA offers to compete in multiple situations, 8 mistakes veterans often make, and so much more. It's written specifically for military buyers in this market, and it covers everything we talked about today, plus things you're not going to find on Zillow or Google. Head to my website and sign up to get it sent straight to you for free. I've also got a free VA loan calculator on the site. Plug in your purchase price and it will show you your estimated monthly payment and exactly how much you're saving by skipping PMI. If you need help with some of those numbers, call me, I got you. It takes 2 minutes, it gives you real numbers. Both links are in the description. If you want to keep going deeper on VA loans in Kansas City, check out 2 other videos on this channel that I did: VA Loan Kansas City 2026 PCS Home Buying Guide, and the hidden VA loan cost that's putting veterans upside down in 2026. Both are linked in the description and in the Veteran Focused Real Estate playlist. Here's the thing, I make these videos because I want to work with you. That's the whole reason I do this. It's not to fill a content calendar, it's not to boost views. Veterans deserve an agent and a lender who actually understands the VA appraisal process at the detail level, not just the talking points, but the manual. Whether you're buying in Kansas City, PCSing somewhere else in the country, or stationed somewhere we haven't mentioned, our mortgage team is licensed in almost all 50 states, and we have a network of realtors all across the country we work with. If you're thinking about buying, if you've already started and hit a wall with a seller or an appraisal issue, or if you're still in uniform trying to figure out what comes next, I want to hear from you. My contact info is on the screen right now. You can call, text, email, book a free call straight through the link below. However is easiest, I'll be there. But don't sit on this. The market moves fast, and the sooner we talk, the more options you'll have. I'm Joe Nelson, and let's get to work.